Hi everyone, hope you're all well. In today's video, we're going to talk about the importance of website maintenance and updates. So what is meant by website maintenance? Website maintenance refers to the ongoing process of keeping a website up to date, functional, and secure. It involves regularly monitoring and updating the website content, ensuring that the website features and functionalities are working properly and addressing any issues that may arise. It also involves keeping the website's software, plugins, and security measures up to date to protect against vulnerabilities or attacks. Overall, it helps ensures that a website remains optimized for performance, user experience, and security. So a little bit more details into what website maintenance involves. For example, one of the things that website maintenance involves is updating the website content. So this includes adding new pages, updating existing content, and removing outdated information. It also refers to plugin software and updates. So websites often use plugins and softwares to add features and functionality. These plugins and software need to be regularly updated to ensure that they function properly and are compatible with the latest version of the website platform. Plugin and software updates are especially important because plugins and software can have vulnerabilities that can be exploited by hackers to gain unauthorized access to a website or cause damage. Updating plugins and software helps fix these vulnerabilities and ensures that the website is secure. So for example, with WordPress websites, WordPress plugins are essential components of building a WordPress website because it provides different features and functionality or extends existing functionality to the website as well and help it enhance the user experience. On a WordPress website, if you wanted to see how many updates that you might need, what you want to do is go onto your dashboard and you're looking for the updates tab here. So if you click on the updates tab, you'll see a little number. Sometimes you'll see a little number beside the updates tab, and that number is essentially telling you how many updates that are needing to make. And this is both plugin updates and theme updates as well. So you can see when I'm on the updates dashboard and I scroll down, you can see I have a list of all the plugins that I need updated, and it can tell me what version I currently have installed and what version is the newest version as well. So I can see how different the new update is and if I've missed a few updates in between. If I keep scrolling down even further, I can see that there's theme updates as well, and I can go through one by one and update the themes as well. Another way to see this is if you go into the plugins tab itself, and it'll show you a list of all the plugins that you have, but then it'll also highlight the ones that need updating. So for example, the ones that are highlighted in yellow, it'll tell you that there's a new version of a certain plugin available and ask you to update now. So when it comes to updating your plugin, you do have the options to update your plugins all at once, so like bulk update your plugins. However, I don't recommend this. This can be, depending on how many resources are allocated to your server or allocated to your website, this can cause the server to time out and you may have experienced some downtime issues, in which case I recommend just updating each of your plugins one by one and give a few minutes in between each update so that you minimize the risk of having any downtime issues. In terms of how often plugins and software should be updated, the frequency of updates can vary depending on the plugin or software. Sometimes they require daily or weekly updates, while others may only need to be updated every few months. What's important is that you schedule some time to keep an eye out for notifications every week from the website platform or the plugin developers indicating that updates are available. So it might be good to take some time out every week just to see if there's any updates available every week or every 2 weeks, and then update when you can. In terms of how a plugin updates and software are updated, most website platforms have a built-in mechanism for updating plugins and software. So in terms of WordPress, there's nothing really much you need to do apart from just click on update now and then just have a quick look at your site to see if anything's broken or anything like that. Plugin and software updates are an important part of a website's maintenance that helps ensures a website remains secure, functioning optimally, and compatible with the latest version of the website platform as well. So the next task that you might want to look out for when it comes to website maintenance is security updates. So security is a really critical aspect of website maintenance, and this involves regularly updating the website security measures, including firewalls, encryption, and access controls. It involves keeping the website software up to date and keeping the plugins as well up to date as well. That forms part of the security updates as well. Website security is very important, and sometimes your hosting provider can play an important role in ensuring that your website remains secure. Some ways that your hosting provider can help with website security is SSL certificates. So, for example, this platform here, Bluehost, they do offer all kinds of hosting, especially WordPress hosting. And with a lot of their plans, they do have the free SSL certificates. So hosting providers provides SSL certificates, and this is used to encrypt the sensitive data exchange between the website and its users. So sensitive data are things like passwords, credit card information, and other kind of personal data. Counts as that, and the SSL kind of protects that from potential hackers. There's also the option of firewall protection. So hosting providers can implement firewall protection to prevent unauthorized access to your website, and a firewall can help block malicious traffic and prevent hackers from exploiting vulnerabilities on your website as well. Some of their plans also include a regular software and plugin updates. So as we discussed earlier, regular software and plugin updates are essential for website security. Many host providers can automatically update website software and plugins to ensure that they are always up to date and secure. And Bluehost also offers something called daily website backup. So website backups basically backups your website every single day, so that if there's any issues, your website data is safe. Regular backups can ensure that you restore your website quickly and easily in the event of a security breach or other issues, minimizing the amount of data that's lost. They also offer malware scanning. So hosting providers can perform regular malware scans on your website to detect and remove any malicious code that may be present, and this helps that your website remains secure and protected from potential attacks. There are some web hosting providers that also provide DDoS protection. So hosting providers can provide DDoS protection to help prevent DDoS attacks, which can cause website downtime and impact the user experience. Overall, your hosting provider can play a really crucial role in ensuring that your website remains secure. It's important to choose a hosting provider that provides robust security features and regularly updates its systems to ensure that they are always up to date and always secure. If you'd like more information, we have loads of videos comparing different hosting providers and different types of hosting as well in our YouTube channel, so have a click around for those. The next task that falls under website maintenance is backups. So we've talked about this before, but regularly backing up your site is essential in case of any unforeseen issues. This involves creating a copy of the website and its data on a regular basis to ensure that it can be quickly restored in the event of a problem. Monitoring website performance. It's important to monitor the website's performance regularly to ensure that it's running smoothly and quickly. This includes checking page load times, server response times, and other performance metrics as well. You also want to make sure that you are regularly checking for broken links, errors, and other issues that can impact the user experience. And this is also a really important part of website maintenance. Broken links and errors is an important part of website maintenance because it helps ensure that your website remains user-friendly and functional. Broken links can frustrate users and hurt your website search engine rankings, so it's important to fix them as soon as possible. What you can use to scan your website for broken links is something called a website crawler. So website crawlers are essentially a tool that scans your website and identifies broken links and other errors. There are several website crawler tools available online, some of which are free and some of which require payment. Some popular website crawling tools includes this one here, so Screaming Frog, SEO Spider. It's an industry-leading website crawler for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, and it's really easy to use. You just type in the URL of the website that you want to crawl, and then it will then return values of all the links that are on that website, and then return all of the error messages or any kind of error messages, whether that's status OK, 404, 301 redirect, things like that. You can also use Google Search Console. Google Search Console is a free tool provided by Google that can help you identify broken links and other errors on your website. This tool will send you notifications if it detects any issues, and you can also manually check for errors by navigating to the coverage section of the tool as well. While using website crawlers and tools like that can be helpful, it's also a good idea to manually check your website for broken links and errors. Navigate through your website yourself, click on links to ensure that they are functioning properly. Once you've identified broken links and errors on your website, it's really important to fix them as soon as possible. For broken links, you can update that link to point to a new URL, remove the link if it's no longer necessary, or use a redirect to point users to a new page. For other errors like 404 errors, you can create a custom error page to help users find what they're looking for. And lastly then, search engine optimization. So regularly optimizing your website's content, meta descriptions, and other elements to improve search engine rankings is also an important part of website maintenance. Website maintenance is an ongoing process and involves a variety of tasks aimed at keeping a website functionality optimally secure and up to date as well. Next up is website auditing. So website auditing is an important part of website maintenance. A website audit involves a comprehensive analysis of your website to identify any technical, usability, or SEO related issues that may be impacting the performance of your website. A website audit can help you identify issues like broken links, duplicate content, slow page load times, poor website architecture, and other technical issues that may be affecting your website search engine rankings and user experience. By conducting a website audit, you can get a better understanding of the health of your website and identify areas for improvement. This can help you optimize your website for better search engine rankings, improved user experience, and increased conversions. When it comes to analyze your performance, a really good tool to use is GTmetrix. So GTmetrix is a free online tool that you can use to understand how fast your page is a page on your website is loading, and what are the common issues, or what are the most biggest issues that are causing performance load times on your website. You submit a URL into the GTmetrix tool, and it'll start scanning your site to see for any complex issues, analyze with Lighthouse, and make a list of all the improvements that need to be made onto your website. The tool will then give you a performance grade, a letter grade, and it will also give you a performance percentage as well. And you can use that to kind of gauge how fast or slow your site is. And scrolling down, you can see a list of top issues, and they'll rank these issues from low, medium to low, medium, and then high. Anything that is ranked as a high impact issue is something that you want to fix immediately, because these are usually the biggest things that are causing a hindrance to your website and causing it to slow down, which means that people can miss out on coming onto your website. Going back to website audits, website audits are important because they inform you of how your website is performing, what's working properly, and what needs to be amended to allow for smooth functioning. This will help you rank better and produce more traffic. And some of the things that you should include, that should be included in every single website audit, one of them is a site security audit. So while SEO and web design are naturally some of the first things that any website owner would choose to assess and monitor, website security is equally as important to prevent any issues for potential customers. Cybersecurity breaches happen daily to small and large businesses, so ensuring that your site is catered for security-wise is integral. These issues can massively impact large companies, but research from the National Cybersecurity Alliance found that 60% of small businesses end up closing only 6 months after a security breach. Finding out what sections of your website that are vulnerable allows you to identify breaches and fix them before anything serious happens, like a data breach or a leak of personal protection. When it comes to site security, there's 2 ways to ensure that your site is fully secure, especially when it comes to WordPress security. So one way is to ensure you choose a good hosting provider that are well equipped to understand what are the common security breaches that can happen with WordPress websites, and be able to accommodate for that and be able to protect your site against that. And another way is to ensure that your site itself has plugins that help you protect your site. There are free good plugins that you can use, some free, some paid, to ensure that you guys have strong security on your WordPress site. The first one being Securi. So Securi is one of the best free WordPress security plugins available today. This is an all-in-one security solution, and it's really popular for really good reasons. Although Securi is a great free WordPress security plugin for websites, the pro version is actually where most of the features are at. So some common features of Securi is that they will clean up your WordPress site at no additional cost if it's infected with malware. It's easy setup on your WordPress dashboard. And web application firewall protection helps block a lot of brute force and DDoS attacks from accessing your website, which is a common threat to WordPress websites. So they are kind of well equipped to handle that. They let you conduct file integrity monitoring and malware scanning, and of course malware removal. This makes Securi a great malcare alternative. So if you are currently using malcare, Securi might be a different option for you because it includes a lot more features and it does do the work that malcare also do. They have effective security hardening and they keep track of everything that happens on your site, including file changes, last logins, failed login attempts, things like that. There are some plans that offer DDoS protection. If you go onto their pricing, if you go onto their pricing page, you can see their pricing and what they're offering if you were to upgrade to one of their premium plans. But some plans do offer advanced DDoS protection as well. They can reduce server load time and improve your site's performance because they are blocking all the malicious traffic that's coming in. And their server static content comes from their own CDN servers. It also protects your website against SQL injections, XXS, and all other known attacks. The main downside to Securi is a lot of their features come with their premium plans. So they do have a free version of it, but the pro version of the plan can start from anywhere from $200 a year all the way up to $500 a year, depending on how big your site plan is and how many of the features you'll actually use. The main differences between these plans is the hours of malware removal and how frequently they run their security scans as well. Another plugin that's strongly recommended for if you are wanting to improve the security on your site is the iTheme Security Pro. If you're a WordPress user, you might be familiar with the team that created iTheme Security Pro because they also built the popular plugin Backup Buddy and lots of other great themes and plugins. All of their tools offer an easy-to-use interface for brute force security protection and more. So you can see with their iTheme Security Pro, on their website, you can see exactly what they are offering in terms of their features. So they do offer two-factor authentication for an extra layer of security. They have powerful password enforcement. They have 404 detection and plugin scans. They are also a plugin that do scheduled WordPress backups. So you don't have to worry about if it's something that your hosting provider don't offer. You can do that as well, all-inclusive with the iTheme's paid plan. iTheme Security Pro are also great at locking out any suspicious IP, and it scans for vulnerabilities on your site as well, so they can't gain access. They send email alerts to notify you of any recent file updates on your site that may be malicious, and they have the ability to limit login attempts. So it's a really good kind of overall protection, especially for your WordPress plugins and themes. Although there's no website protection or malware scan, they do use Securi's site check malware scanner as well. And the main downside to this, similar to Securi, is that they do have the pricing plans that are a little bit more expensive if you were to go for their free as opposed to pro. They can start at $99 a year but they can go all the way up to $749 a year. And the thing to watch out for is that they only cover for a certain number of plans. So the most basic plan will only cover one site, and the agency plan will cover 3 sites. That's kind of where they all differ. But you can go through their website and just see exactly what they are offering within each plan and what you're not getting if you just stick with the pro version, if you just stick with the free version as well. Another advanced popular all-in-one solution for WordPress site security is Jetpack. So Jetpack is all-in-one solution for WordPress security. They're a really well-known plugin, and they'll basically scan your WordPress website for files and security vulnerabilities, and they have over 5 million active installs. You can see with their products. And you can see exactly what they offer in terms of their features. They offer things like real-time backup save every change you make to your website, which is a pretty generous amount of backup saves that you can have. They have one-click restore to get your site back online quickly. They also have an activity log that tells you exactly which action or which say kind of broke your site. They have a decentralized malware scanning that keeps your site safe from security threats. They offer lots of anti-spam protection by automatically blocking spam in blog comments. And it alerts you via email the moment it detects that your WordPress site is down, so you'll have instant notification of any kind of downtime. The brute force protection defends your site against login attacks and harmful malware. Again, those are just really common attacks that can happen on your WordPress website. They also keep your WordPress plugins automatically updated and lets you know if you're using the latest version of WordPress, so you know that your plugins are always going to be updated, and that's a really important feature when it comes to WordPress security. You need to make sure that all of your plugins and themes are updated to the latest version. The free version of Jetpack includes the WordPress security features, and the security plan starts at £20 a month, and there's also a scan add-on that you can get for $5 a month as well. So just something to kind of think about whenever you are going onto your site. Another great solution for WordPress website security is WP Scan. This is a really user-friendly tool, and it's been around since 2012 and can keep your website safe and secure on the back end. It works by cataloging tons of different known threats and reports, the important ones to use, so you can avoid any unwanted security issues. Some of their features include open source tools with unique functionality that can be used to scan remote WordPress installations, so it can really pinpoint any of the security issues that you have. Their database of vulnerabilities is updated daily by community members, and it's a dedicated WordPress security specialist as well. They have daily automatic scans to look for malicious code. They have enabled email notifications. So you have email notifications for any kind of issues that might be on your site. And there's also a free version of this plugin, and that's great for most websites. If you do have a big site and that uses a lot of plugins, then the paid version of WP Scan would be better for you, and it starts at around $2.31 a month. So you can go into the pricing page here, and you can get a quote for small business, or you can get a quote for an enterprise as well. And this really just depends on how many sites that you have, or if you have just like a really big site as well. Next thing you then have is WordFence. So WordFence is a WordPress security plugin that has some amazing features to protect your WordPress website that you can use, and by far it has the most bigger range of features in their free version compared to the other plugins that you've seen so far. So you can use the basic version as well for free. The basic version is free to use on as many sites as you need. It monitors visits and hack attempts in real time, including their origin and their IP address, the time of day, and the amount of time spent on your site. They track alerts about breached password usages, so you can create new strong passwords immediately. They have protection against brute force attacks by limiting failed login attempts, and they have customizable email alerts as well. The Pro version will let you monitor all sites from a central dashboard, so that's kind of downside. If you do have a multiple amount of sites, you are able to see a security scan of all of your sites in one place if you were to buy the Pro plan. So the paid version is priced at around $99 a year. However, you get most of the features for free anyway with the basic plan. Bulletproof Security is another WordPress security plan that doesn't offer as much in the free version as some of the other plugins would, but they do give you some basic security features for free, so it's worth sort of taking a look and see if it works for you. They have an easy-to-use setup wizard. They do have malware scanning and firewalls. They also do database backups, not full site backups, but they will back up your database for you. They have login protections, and they have email notifications with security logs as well. So when a user gets locked out from failed login attempts, you're aware of that as well. They also have something called ideal session logouts. So when if someone has a session on your website logged in, but they have remained idle for a period of time, then they will get automatically logged out. There is no cost to Bulletproof Security. It is all free. But even the free version do offer sort of like a lot of basic features that might be worthwhile looking into. Another good security plugin is all-in-one WP Security and Firewall. It's very easy to use and it's also free. And to apply to I'll add you to your own WordPress websites. And they do apply WordPress best practices for security to your small business website. But the tool is very basic and not as beginner friendly as the more well-known solutions. But some of the features that they offer is scanning for malicious patterns. They offer IP filtering to block specific people and geographical locations. They do have login lockdowns after failed login attempts. There's you can view a list of locked out users to unlock individuals in just a few clicks if you ever needed to. They have user account monitoring and a website level firewall. It does lack a DNS level firewall, as some of the other plugins might offer. But you can manually blacklist suspicious IP address at your if you want to as well. Again, no cost to this one either. It's completely free. Again, not as beginner friendly as the others, but they do have a lot of features that are useful to add to your website anyway. So if you're not wanting to spend so much, or if you not wanting to spend at all on a security plugin, then this might be a good one to go for. Lastly then is Google Authenticator. So Google Authenticator will let you add two-factor authentication with WordPress. So setting up two-factor authentication will just give you an extra layer of security, and that's a really good idea to kind of do that. And a lot of the plugins that we've seen so far, they don't offer that as part of their features. So it adds an extra layer of security to your login, and it has a very simple interface and is very moderately easy to use. It lets you pick which type of two-factor authentication you want to use, and it does offer shortcodes as well. So you can do things like use it on customer login pages, and it's completely free. So it's one of those plugins that you can use on top of one of the other plugins that we've seen so far, because so far not all of the plugins that we've seen will offer this as an option. If you're looking for a WordPress security plugin that has it all, then that would be something like Security that we see in firsthand. So it does have quite a few features that you'll need to protect your website instead of just a few. But again, it just depends on your budget and if the free version works for what it is what you want as well. But they have a lot of the features that you would be looking for if you wanted a fully secure site. This includes things like website scanning, DNS, firewalls, and their own cloud-based server and CDN network. Whether or not you need WordPress security plugin, it's always recommended. So the average website is hacked 44 times every day. If one of those attacks are successful, they could seriously hurt your business online. WordPress security plugins can protect you from these threats and making them a worthwhile investment. But again, it's all dependent on your own budget and how much you're willing to spend, and how much security that you think you need as well. So that kind of covers site security. The other thing that you want to consider to add onto your website audit is site health audit. So a site health audit can help you analyze the usability and the architecture of your site. You can find issues in areas like issues in your meta description, issues in any broken links, internal linking, your site performance, site structure, page speed, page titles, and load times. There are loads of tools out there to help you run a site health audit, but the two of the best available tools out there are SEMrush and Google Analytics. Once you have run an audit that takes full consideration of these factors, you will be able to ensure that your site is running at maximum efficiency. In terms of Google Analytics, you need to make sure that you create a Google Analytics account and just add the Google tracking code onto your website. With WordPress, you can do that simply adding the tracking tag into your file codes, or you can install a plugin as well, like Google Tag Manager, to just simply add the tag onto the plugin, and it'll start tracking your site as well. As soon as the tag is on the site, then Google will start immediately tracking your site, and then within a month's time you'll have a month's worth of analytics to go through and see what you can improve in terms of all your page speed, page title, any missing meta descriptions, things like that. Other things you want to add to your audit is a content and SEO audit. So content is king, and it's important to analyze content performance to see what is working on your site and what is lagging. Doing an SEO and content audit can help identify duplicate content, issues with broken links, alt tags, and meta descriptions. Having faulty content can confuse crawler bots that report their findings to search engines. This can hurt your rankings, making it really difficult to regularly audit your SEO and your content. So creating relevant and unique content that engages an audience is a great way to attract prospective customers. When it comes to checking your site for content and any SEO issues, there are loads of free tools out there. One of them being SEObility. So SEObility works similarly to how GTmetrix works. So you would type in the link of the URL of the page that you wanted to check the SEO on. It will then scan that link and run a small, quick kind of SEO audit to make sure that you have the basic SEO rules in place, and whichever ones you're missing, they'll list that out for you, and then you then have an actionable list of things to fix on your website or on that page to improve the site's SEO. So, for example, once you type once you have the report generated, it will generate something like this. It'll give you a score in total. It'll give you a percentage total for your meta information, your page quality, and things like that. And it'll give you a task list of SEO improvements. And this might be a lot of improvements that you might need to be made, or it might be as low as this. And you basically just want to use this as a list of things to kind of fix. If you scroll down, you can see a more in-depth list of what they look out for and what you're doing well. Things like your domain length, page URL, things like your meta tags, how well they're formatted. It'll analyze your page quality, and it'll analyze your mobile optimization as well, and it'll analyze things like your image SEO, and analyze your heading structure as well. All of these things are really important into making sure that your site is optimized as much as possible for SEO, but the SEObility tools is really helpful as it can generate essentially a checklist for you to go through each thing and make sure that your site can accommodate for all of the things that you're missing, and then improve that score as much as possible as well. As well as this, you can also run a competitor site audit. So one of the ways of consistently improving your site is to do a competitor site audit. And through doing this, you can get a really unique insight into what your competitors are doing that's performing well, and learn from their achievements and their mistakes as well. You'll be able to know how to improve processes, deal with problems within your niche, and this helps you implement a really strong and rounded digital marketing strategy that takes into account the strengths and weaknesses of your competitors. Another audit that you can run is a social media presence audit. So every social media campaign is created as a means to drive traffic to a website and turn the prospective customers into sales. So using social media strategies that have good call to actions or lead forms, or even signing up to a newsletter, is a really great way to drive engagement. If you're struggling to get this type of engagement, it might be because you don't have a well-optimized site that prioritizes user experience and also has good UI. Assessing your social media engagement will also help you make the right decisions when fixing your website after a site audit. So if you find that a lot of people, you have a high social media following, but that following isn't following onto your website traffic, then there's an issue with your website in terms of, and it could be something as simple as mobile optimization. If users are coming onto your site on a mobile, and it's not, which is likely whenever they are coming on from social media, it's likely they are going to click off as soon as possible because your site isn't going to be optimized for mobile. When it comes to social media traffic, it's one of the best ways to get traffic onto your website. It's because it's easier to grow traffic on your social media and move that following over to your website. So it's really important that your website is optimized to be used on mobile phones. You can also run things like penalty and recovery audits and conversion rate optimization audits. So when it comes to penalty and recovery audits, it'll help you uncover issues that might have been found by search engine algorithms. So if you run a penalty and recovery audit to see what manual or algorithmic issues you're having to help you recover your site, and you can start to rank again, so that might be an option. And conversion rate optimization audits will help you understand more about the user that visits your site. So using conversion rate optimization, or CRO, it's used to find out what people do when they're on your page and how they move throughout your site and why they might not be converting. For any action a user takes on your site, you have to appreciate who are you optimizing it for, which is your target audience. What are you optimizing? So what content isn't performing well, and where to optimize it. So what pages needs to be reviewed. When it comes to auditing your site, you need to have the tools to know how to audit your site. Creating a functional plan will help you deliver what you need to have a high-performing site. Your plan can help show the SEO efficiency of your site. You can analyze your site's competitors and learn from what they're doing right. You can identify issues and how to make the correct changes, and you can also make a plan for your website's future development. So some ways to audit your site. One of them is performing a site crawl. So site crawls are a really great way to check for any issues your site might be experiencing. Tools mentioned before, like SEMrush, are really great because they will essentially crawl your site and gather information like internal linking, internal SEO, site performance, and things like that. Another tool you can use is Screaming Frog. So Screaming Frog SEO Spider, again, works similar to SEMrush, where you would type in the name of the URL that you want scanning, so essentially the name of the site that you have, and it will crawl your entire site and check for 404 errors, no index commands, coding issues. All of these things can make up part of your site crawl, and then you can use that to kind of see what's going right, what's going wrong, and things like that. Things like the coding issues, no index commands, and 404 errors contribute to a negative user experience. This can cause high bounce rates through broken links, and this will all negatively affect SEO, as do 500 errors. They're usually due to issues with your internal servers. Things like 502 bad gateways, 503 services unavailable are just some of the issues you will see on your site. Another major issue is duplicated content. So doing a site crawl will allow you to see what content has been duplicated, including title tags, meta description. Also ensuring that redirects are properly implemented is really important. 301 redirects allow you to redirect an old URL and direct it to an existing page, and this helps maintain your SEO rankings and allowing people to access important information. The other thing you need to know what to do is sort your technical SEO. So technical SEO can be made very easy through tools such like Ahrefs, SEMrush, Screaming Frog Spider, things like that. And you can use an SEO audit to rewrite page titles with solid meta description and then check for canonical URLs. Having good page titles makes it much easier for Google and users to understand what is on your page. There should be a unique title on every single page, and they should be under 50 characters with a target keyword included. This keyword is going to be the main word that you want that specific page to rank for, and they should explain what is on that page. Meta descriptions are also integral for SEO. They are longer than titles and are able to elaborate for Google and users what is on the page and what they have clicked on. It should be engaging and attractive to users, and you should encourage them to click on your page as well and read on. And they also need to be unique and not duplicated content as well. So when it comes to meta descriptions and title tags, they will show up not on your site, but they will actually show up on Google search engine results. So for example, we have a Google search engine results here, and you can see the pages that come up when we are searching for something like this. We get the page title, and we have the meta description, which is this small description here, and this is basically just written in a way that without even clicking onto our site, users who are seeing the site come up in search engine results already know what this page is going to be about when they click on it. they already know sort of by the title and by the meta description what this result is going to be about, and if that matches what they're searching for, they'll more inclined to click on it. If this didn't have any kind of description at all, you're less likely to click on the results because you're not sure what this is going to be about, and the people will tend to go for something that they can actually understand in terms of the title and the meta description. Another part of technical SEO you need to be aware of is checking for canonical tags. These tell search engines to index and rank the right pages. If you have the same or similar content on your site, signaling to Google which one should be indexed is important, and this is done through canonical tags. As mentioned before, another thing you want to make sure of is making sure that your site loads quickly. So site speed in particular is really important for user experience, and it can prevent traffic and create a high bounce rate if your pages are too slow. A 1 second delay can result in 11% decrease in traffic, according to the Aberdeen Group, which is not good for business. Another factor is that Google is fully aware of how fast your site is. This means that if your competitor's site loads faster than yours, even if it is by a few seconds, Google will display their content before yours. There are plenty of methods to ensure that you have appropriate website speeds, and we looked at this one before, so GTmetrix is one of them. Google Page Insights is another, and Pingdom are a great way of testing your site speed. With GTmetrix as well, you can test your page in different countries, you can test your page in different browsers, and see suggestions on how to improve speed for your site. Google Page Speed and Insight analyzes speed and gives suggestions, as does Pingdom. The next thing that you want to develop is your user experience. So user experience, or UX, is vital for traffic. If your site has poor user experience, it can hurt SEO and your rankings, and it can drive traffic to other sites. There are a few things that you can do to ensure that your site has a good user experience, and this area is really important to consider as it helps users navigate your site better. One major layout decision that can help with user experience is adding imagery and video to your site, especially to your blogs. A great way to ensure that your site is getting ranked by Google and has lots of content is to ensure there's lots of written content on your site, but you want to make sure that this written content is being separated out with things like videos and things like images as well. They're really engaging, they help sell products or services, and they encourage users to stay on your site a little bit longer, and that'll just decrease your bounce rate. Another thing to consider here is also using white space. So white space will allow your content to be a bit more readable, and helping them focus on elements surrounding the text as well. With design in mind, choose a good color palette or color scheme for your site is integral. So these should align with your brand and be consistent to draw attention to your products or your service, and things like that. Using strong CTAs to call attention and is a great way to instruct your visitors on what exactly it is that you want them to do next, whether that's to contact you, to get in touch, to read more, things like that. Having a CTA on every single page above the fold ensures that users notice them and they have a really quick and easy way to get in contact or to buy if that's what you want them to do. Another way to help with user experience is to include client testimonials on your site to give a peer review of how good your products are and how good your services are. Ensuring that you have a fully functioning navigation bar is important for the user experience, and it is what helps users find what they are looking for when they land on your site. The menu should link to most important pages and be easy to understand, and don't add extra things that it doesn't need. Lastly, then, another thing you want to make sure is making sure that your site is mobile friendly. Considering that one of the most important parts of site optimization is ensuring that your site is mobile friendly, is crucial for being promoted in Google.
So back in 2015, Google announced a mobile-friendly algorithm that was going to boost mobile search rankings. They deliberately were giving mobile-friendly sites an advantage, as nearly everyone has a mobile device that they use to search the internet on. There are a variety of audit tools to check whether your site is mobile-friendly or not. Google even have one that allows you to see a screenshot of your site on a mobile device. You can also, when you're on a desktop, you can right-click and inspect to see your site on various different dimensions and browser width, but it's important that you also use some of Google's tools as well, so you can see exactly if Google is marking your page as mobile friendly or not. So website audits are increasingly an important part of every solid technical strategy. They allow you to keep up with trends, improve your online presence, and update your content to ensure it is relevant and engaging to your users. It can be a technical process and a tedious task, but you will see solid results over time when you put in the work. Regardless, sometimes these audits can be confusing and overwhelming. If you are unsure of where to start, please contact ProfileTree to see how our team of digital marketers can transform your website and improving your rankings. As well. We have lots of other articles and videos on our website, so check them out if you have any more questions or anything else that you want to look at as well. Overall, conducting regular website audits is an important part of your website maintenance, and it can help you identify any issues and fix them on your website to improve its overall performance and user experience.